Hi guys, welcome to our yoga course session. So this is an intermediate session. If you are a beginner, you can have a go. And if you need to, just drop back into rest position or child's pose at any point. And I will give you regressions to try as well. So we're just going to start off by sitting in the center of the mat in a nice comfortable cross-legged position. Just bring your body tall, lengthen through the spine, hands on your knees, and you're just going to start to bring your attention to the breath. Try and close your mouth and just breathe in and out through the nose, and very gradually just lengthen and slow down the breath. So let's start with an inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. Start to think about filling that lower belly with air. And exhale. Inhale, really slow down that breath now. And exhale. Relax the shoulders and the jaw. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. From here, you're going to take an inhale, reach the arms overhead. And just going to reach with the right side first up towards the ceiling. Keep the breath going and then change sides, so opposite side. Just extending through the waist. Keep that movement going side to side. And then you're just going to take it down onto one elbow. Let's start on the right side, going down onto the right elbow. You're going to reach over with the left, but think about reaching up towards the ceiling as well as over to the side. So again, you're really lengthening through the waist at this point. Get a nice side stretch. Reach here. Again, just focus on that breath. Inhale. Exhale, reach. And then change sides. Down onto the elbow, lengthen up towards the ceiling. And then we're just going to make a loop of that movement. So back to the original side, reach, but then change nice and quickly, so a little bit more dynamic. Side to side. One more time on the other side. And just bringing it back to center. From here, you're just going to place the hands on the floor in front of you. Take it onto fingertips initially. Lengthen through the spine so body's nice and tall, chest is up. And just creep the fingertips away from you. So again, here we're just kind of working into lower back, into the hips. And then you're just going to take it onto flat hands and then really reach forward. So start to round the spine, drop the head, shake out the head a little bit, loosen any tension in the neck. Bring the attention to the breath, inhale. As you exhale, just press your chest down towards the floor. One more time, inhale. Exhale and just press. And then nice and slowly walk the hands back towards the feet. From here, we're just going to spin around onto all fours and we're going to do some cat-cow. So from here, make sure hands are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. Just relax the head down and you're just going to lift the spine, arch it up towards the ceiling, create a nice curve. And then you're just going to bring it back towards that flat position, but lift the chin, lift the chest, and then just create that natural curve in the spine. Bring the chest forward and then just reverse that movement. So you're going to exhale and arch the spine up to the ceiling. Bring the chin to the chest. Then as you inhale, lift the head, bring the chest forward. And again, feel a nice stretch in the abdominals. And then just make a loop of that movement. So exhale, arch the back, and inhale, lift that chest. Exhale, and inhale, lift chin, chest. And then from here, you're just going to sink back the hips onto the feet, reaching the hands forward into, this is rest position or child's pose. Think about looking at the mat in front of you and just extending through the neck. So think about taking the head forward to the top of your mat as well. Creep the hands away a little bit more. Shuffle the hips, so get comfortable. And again, just start to breathe and press that chest down towards the mat. Inhale, exhale, press. Inhale, exhale, press. Walk the hands back towards the feet, come back onto all fours. And then from here, from this position, you're just going to take the hands away, so leave the knees where they are, take the hands forward. So this is like a mini downward dog. And again, start to press the chest down towards the floor. Just Really start to work into the shoulder joints and take it side to side a little bit. So start to sway, get some movement into these positions. Then just bringing the hands back onto all fours. We're just going to wake up the wrists. So from here, you're going to go onto the back of the hands and just press gently into the mat. Start to massage. Make some little circles here. Start with the right side and then change. Left side going onto the back of the hand. Keep a kind of micro bend in the elbow so you're not overextending. Press nice and gently. Use your body weight a little bit. You can push forward. Back onto all fours. We're just going to do some circles in this position. So circling clockwise first, over the hands, and then anti-clockwise. And then we're just going to make that movement a little bit bigger. We're going to emphasize it. So go back to clockwise, but this time you're going to sink back onto the heels and then come forward onto all fours. Go past the hands, so working into the wrist a little bit, and then go back to your heels. So some big circles round. Stay in one direction, so we're still clockwise. And then change. And then meet back on all fours. You're just going to tuck the toes under, and in this position just lift the knees a couple of inches off the floor. So you'll start to feel all your core muscles engaged the moment that you do this. We're just going to hold this position, check that you've got knees under the hips, and you are just a couple of inches off the floor. We're going to hold it here. Just enjoy working those core muscles for a few more seconds. And then just relax your knees back down to the floor. And from this position, we're just going to lift into our first downward dog. So keeping the toes tucked under, you're going to lift the knees, straighten out the legs, straighten out the arms, adjust the hand position if you need to. You might want to walk them forward a little bit, press the heels down into the mat, push the knees back, and start to think about taking the chest down towards the thighs. Again, press those heels. Really create some space between shoulders and neck, so push the mat away, and let's just do a few breaths here. So inhale, exhale, press that chest forward. Keep the biceps in line with the ears. Make sure you're not overreaching in this position. Inhale, exhale. Now let's loosen up this position a little bit. So I want you to shake the head side to side. Do a little nod. Think about now just bending the knees. So let's start to pad the feet. Bend the right, then the left. Lifting the heels. Maybe do the same with the elbows. So just tiny micro bends. And then from here, you're just going to roll over the shoulders into high plank position. So let's start to just really enjoy our first high plank, if you can call it that. And think about, again, just make sure the hips are in line with shoulders and knees. You haven't dropped down through the waist at all. So if you need to, just lift them up slightly. And just think about squeezing the thighs, squeezing the glutes. So this is a nice, strong, solid position. It's working everything. Going to hold it for a few more breaths here. So try to, don't hold your breath in this position, which many people do. Just start to make the breath nice and fluid. Hold it for a little bit longer. And then just dropping the knees down, we're going to take the chest to the floor. Think about skimming the elbows towards the rib cage. Gently lower the chest and just relax here. We're going to go into a mini cobra, baby cobra. So slide the hands, make sure they're right next to the chest. You're just going to draw the shoulder blades together, lift the chest off the floor, and again keep that neutral neck so you're looking forward, not straining or lifting the chin, and then just take it back down. From here, push back into child's pose, sinking the hips back onto the feet, and just take a breath here. Just move from side to side in this position. So again, just loosen off the shoulders, come back onto all fours, tuck the toes, and meet back in downward dog. So lift the hips up. And from here, you're just going to dip the knees down towards the floor, come back to that downward dog position. Each time, pressing the heels down, just a couple more. Dip those knees if you can, couple of inches from the floor. And then just roll over the shoulders into your high plank position. Okay, from here, we're going to take this to the upper gear. You're just going to start to push forward over the hands. So again, really working the core. So you're going on to the tiptoes, push forward. This is also quite challenging for the wrists and forearms as well, but you should feel that really switch on the core. So keep that movement going. You're pushing forward, then coming back to your high plank. Push forward, back to your high plank. One more, push forward, back to high plank. Now it's completely up to you. You can do what we did before, drop to the knees and lower down to the mat if you want to, or we can go through our first chaturanga. So you're going to draw elbows in towards the rib cage, drop to a low plank first, and then you're just going to push forward, lift the chest up towards the ceiling, go onto the tops of the feet, look forward, and then from here you're going to roll over the toes into a downward dog. Push back, and just take a breath here. So again, pat the feet. Micro bends in the elbows if you want to, loosen up, because we're going to go back to our plank for another variation in a second. So from here, roll over the shoulders, high plank position. This time we're going to row the elbow towards the hip. We're going to start on the left side. Again, take the feet a little bit wider if you need to. You might want to kind of straddle the mat, and then you're just going to lift that left arm, rowing the elbow to the hip. Reset the hips, make sure they haven't twisted and opened up. We're going to hold it here for a second, take it back. Other side, so kind of like a renegade row if you know that exercise. And then you're just going to keep changing sides now. So left side, make sure the hips are facing the mat, right side. One more on each side, take your time. The point of these is that they are slow, so you're working everything. And back to your plank position. Up to you, you can drop to knees and do a baby cobra, or drop to low plank, push forward, open up the chest, stretch out the abs, roll over the feet, back to downward dog position. Here you're just going to sway the hips side to side. Oops, that was a bit clicky. And then we're going to meet back in plank position. So roll over the shoulders, back to your high plank position. So we're going to go from high plank now to low plank, but we're going to take our time with the process. So you're just going to drop down onto the right elbow, keep the left arm extended. Hold it here, and then you're going to drop onto the left elbow. So we're now in low plank position. Keep the hands apart, try not to clasp and kind of round through the shoulders. Think about lengthening through the spine. We're going to take it back up. You're going to go onto the left side first, so you're going to extend and you're going to wait here for a second. Again, just working everything, and then go back on the other side. Awesome. Now we're going to go down on the left side first. So you're going to go onto the left elbow, hold, and then drop on the other side. Hold it here for a second, enjoy low plank, and then we're going to go back up on the left side, hold, and then back to the top. Up to you if you want to regress it, go through your drop to knees and go down to the floor, or again, we drop down to low plank here, hold, push forward, and meet back in downward dog. And then from here, you're just going to drop down to the knees, sink back into rest position, do a few breaths here. Come back onto all fours. If you need to take a few more breaths in that position, just chill out for a little bit longer. From here on all fours, you're going to tuck the toes under, lift the knees again. So again, working that core. This is just a tiny movement that we do. Switches on everything. But this time we're going to lift the right heel up towards the ceiling, keeping the leg bent at 90 degrees. So very similar to a donkey kick. You're going to raise it up, hold it, squeeze the glutes, and then bring it back down, but without putting the foot to the floor. The knees meet, and then lift again back to the ceiling. We're going to go for 5 on each side. So that's 2. Come back down, knees are parallel. 3, squeeze the glutes. Come back down, nice and slow. 2 more. Lift, squeeze, back down. I actually hate these. Another one, lift, squeeze, come back down, and rest. Drop the knees down, and from here we're going to go on to the other side. Ready? So 3, 2, 1. Lift the knees up. Let's go. So left side now, squeeze the glute when you get to the top of the movement. We're going to do 5. That's 4. Nice and controlled. 3. Last 2. And last 1. Lift up, squeeze, come back down, drop the knees, sink back into rest position. Ooh, needed that. Okay, from here, just go onto the fingertips in rest position. Take the hands a little bit wider so you can take them off your mat if you want to, and just press the chest down. towards the mat. So again, we're just opening up through shoulders here. Bring the attention to your breath. Inhale. As you exhale, press. Inhale. Exhale, press. And just again, meet back on all fours. And then from here, you're just going to push back into downward dog and slowly walk the feet to the hands. So one step at a time. Take small steps, just a little bit harder. Up towards the hand, relax head and neck. When you need to, just lift off the hands from the mat, but keep them heavy, hanging down. Head is nice and relaxed. Shake out the neck. Grab hold of the elbows and just fold forward, releasing the hamstrings. Sway side to side. And then you're just going to come up nice and slowly, so curling from the spine all the way to standing position, leaving the head and neck till last. And we're going to roll down one more time, so take the chin to the chest and take it forward all the way down to the mat. This time you're going to grab hold of either back of the ankles or the calves, just avoid the knees, and use that to lever the body forward. So taking the chest down onto the thighs. Again, relax the head and neck. Think about taking the crown of the head down towards the mat as well, so you're lengthening the whole body. And bring the attention to the breath. Inhale, exhale, fold. Inhale, exhale, fold. Then we're going to come into a half lift, so bringing the hands in front of you again. You can take it onto the fingertips, either TP the hands or right onto the fingertips, and think about just flattening out the back, again extending the head forward, so to the top of the mat. You might need to just be on your shins at this point in time to flatten out here. And then just relax back into that forward fold. Again, take back the ankles or the calves and use it to pull your body down. Now from here, you're just going to start to sink the bum down into a squat position. But first of all, walk the feet a little bit closer. And then from here, sinking the hips back, lifting the chest up into a nice squat position or chair. Reach the hands forward if you need, lift the chest up, and we're just going to hold it here for a second. Bring the attention to your breath. Make sure you're still breathing. And then you're just going to take it back into your forward fold. So again, tip the body forward, take the chest down onto the thighs. Just leave the hands wherever you want them. They can just be on the mat at this point in time, or you might want to creep them behind you and start to pull chest down onto the thighs a little bit further, or stay with that behind the ankles and pull. We're going back to chair, so from here, sinking the hips back, lift the body up, chest up, reach the hands forward just for balance. Hold it here for a little bit longer. Weight is through the heels, lift up if you can, a little bit higher with that body, and then fold forward one more time. And then you're just going to come all the way up to the top to a standing position, nice and slowly, leave the head and neck to last. Just step to the top of your mat. From this standing position, you're just going to shift the weight into the left leg and then elevate the right leg in front of you. Have the foot flexed and you're going to have it straight at this point in time. Think about just lifting using your core muscles. So lift it as high as you can. You may just be a few inches off the floor. That's absolutely fine. But if you can, you're working towards eventually one day, you can see I'm not there yet, being parallel. Hold it here. Bend the knee now, so it's at a right angle, and from this position you're going to step back into a low lunge. So taking that foot behind you, focus on a point in front of you so you balance, step back, whoop, and then from here extend through that back leg so your back leg is now straight, and start to sink down 90 degree angle with the front leg. And then what we're going to do is drive back to that standing position. All that on the other side. So first of all, shift the weight into the right foot, extend the left leg out in front of you, hold it here for a second, lift it a little bit higher, bend the knee, and then step back into that lunge position. Hold it here, extend through that back leg, sink into a nice 90 degree angle with the front leg, and then drive back to standing. We're going to go back to chair position now, so you're going to sink the hips back, taking the hands forward, and then take it down so we've got thighs parallel to the floor. Hold it here for a second. Bring the chest up. Make sure you haven't tipped too far forward. Now we're going to do that again. We're going to go back into a lunge position. So shift the weight into the left foot and you're just going to step back on the right foot here into a nice deep low lunge. Hold it here. Back leg is extended. We're going to go back to squat position, I'm sorry to tell you. So from here, you're just going to step back. So one foot meets the other, sinking the hips back, hold it here. And then change sides. Weight goes into the right foot, step back on the left, keep the hands reaching forward, extend that back leg, hold it here. We're going to go back to that squat position again, hold. Now if you want to, you can do another one on each side, or you can take a little rest here. So if you're staying with me, we're going back, opposite side, sinking into that low lunge, hold, extend through that back leg, meet back in squat position. And then other side. Let's go, step back, low lunge, hold. Meet back in squat position. Hold it here, chest up, a little bit lower, and then just forward fold. So taking chest down towards the thighs, loosen out the legs, tip the head, shake out head and neck, lose any tension. And just a few breaths here. From here, you're just going to place the hands in front of you and then just step the feet back into a high plank position. Hold it here. We're going to take it down into a low plank now. So drop down, not slow this time. We're just going straight down into low plank position. And I want you to think about shuffling your feet back a little bit. So very gently shuffle back. Don't lose that plank position. So don't let the hips drop, but start to feel core really engaged to stop you falling flat on your face. When you've reached a point where it feels pretty hard, stay there. Squeeze the glutes, tuck the hips under, squeeze your thighs, hold it here. Hold it for a little bit longer. We're going to stay here for another 10 seconds. Bring the attention to your breath. Make sure you're still breathing. And we're going to walk back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently walking it back. Now it's up to you. You can drop to your knees, have a little rest here, or you can take it back to high plank position, push up, and then just go through your chaturanga. So again, drawing down, elbows to the rib cage, push the chest forward, lift up, and then meet back in downward dog. Take a few breaths here. And then from here, just roll over into your high plank position. We're going to do some side plank work. So I want you to think about bringing the right hand a little bit more central on the mat. And then you're going to rotate the upper body, roll onto the side of the feet, and then lift onto one arm into side plank position. If you need to, step that front foot forward just to give you a little bit extra support, or you stay with the feet split in this position. Take the top hand and elevate it up towards the ceiling. So you've got a nice T shape with the arms, and just hold it here for a second. Keep breathing. And then from here, you're just going to bring that top hand to the side of the head. We're going to twist and take this top elbow on the left side to the right elbow. So you're going to rotate the upper body, twist round. If you can tap elbows, that's awesome. You don't need to. Just get a twist and a reach. We're going to go for 5 on this side. So that's 2, 3, keep the breath going. 4, and that's 1, twist. Awesome. And then just take it back to your plank position. Up to you guys, you can drop to your knees, take it down to the mat, or you can take it down. Low plank, push forward onto the tops of the feet, meet back in downward dog. We're going to do that on the other side now. I'm just going to scoot over so you can see me. So from here, just roll over into your plank position. This time, left hand is coming centered to the mat. Roll over onto the side of the feet. And again, into that side plank position, reach up to the ceiling with the opposite arm. Make sure the hips aren't dropping down towards the mat. Keep everything lifted. And then taking the hands to the side of the head, let's twist, elbow to elbow. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, twist. And back up. Taking both hands to the floor, back to your plank position. This time we are going to lower down to the mat as slow as you possibly can, keeping a nice strong plank the entire way down. So think about extending through the head, draw the elbows down, let's go. So let's go for 10 seconds. So 10, keep it strong. 9, squeeze the glutes. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it. And last one. Ah, lovely. Okay, from here, you're just going to push back into child's pose, rest position, and just take some breath here. Press that chest down. This rest position, you're just going to come forward onto all fours, tuck the toes, push back into your downward dog. And then from here, you're just going to bend the knees and just hop to your hands. Come back into your squat position. You're just going to carefully sit down on the floor. It's always good to use these as an opportunity to challenge your core and flexibility. Step the feet out in front of you. Keep the knees elevated. So I'm just going to adjust so you can see me. So we've got a nice bend at the knees, 90 degrees. Bring your body tall. And the first thing we're going to do is just start to lift the legs off the floor. So think about bringing the hands either side of the hip. Bring the feet together. You're just going to lift off the floor. At the moment, I'm keeping that bend at the knee. So this alone is going to feel quite challenging. And then from here, we're just going to work on extending the legs a little bit nice and slowly. Now, it might be that that just feels enough for you, so keeping the legs with that 90-degree bend. Make sure your body is tall, you haven't collapsed in the chest. But if you can, start to extend those legs forwards into a V-sit, but we're doing it nice and slowly. Release the hands, but if you want to, again, you can keep hold of the legs if it's a little bit easier for you at this point in time, or stay in this V-sit position. Open up the chest. Take the body back a little bit, really work into those deep core muscles. Hold it for another couple of seconds, and then just slowly lower the legs down towards the mat. And then from here, we're going to go straight into a hamstring stretch. Placing the hands either side of the ankles with the little finger on the floor, you're just going to glide the little finger forward. So it's a dynamic hamstring stretch here, reaching. Think about taking the crown of the head forward again, not just down towards the knees. We want to lengthen forward, so we're working into ankles, hamstrings, back of the knees, and sink the breath. So exhale as you reach. Inhale as you come up. Exhale, reach. Couple more. And come back to your seated position. Taking the legs wide, you're going to straddle your mat so the feet are going off the mat. And you're going to place, let's start on the right side, you're going to place the hands either side of the thigh, or maybe the knee, depending on how strong you are. You're going to point the toes and you're just going to lift that right leg up. We're going to go for 10 on each side. As you lift, you're going to be using your abs to lift up here. Now, the closer you are to the body, the easier it is. The further away you are, the harder it is. So I'm going to aim for kind of mid-thigh and then see. I can always go a little bit further out if I need to. So let's go. We're going to lift. So 1, 2, 3. If it's feeling too hard, remember you come back towards the body. 4, 5. If it's easy, you reach forward. 6, 7. Did I miss a number then? 8, 9, 10. Other side, so same thing. Hands either side of thigh or knee. Let's go, lift. For 10, 9. Point that foot. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, lift. And then from here, bring the body tall. Take the legs a little bit wider if you can. We're just going to go with a wide-legged hamstring stretch. So you're just going to walk the hands forward, and then you're actually going to use the mat to almost kind of pull your body down a little bit. So you can kind of lever yourself into this stretch a little bit more. Think about keeping these extended and the hips are still flat on the floor. Bring the attention to the back of the knees, make sure that's also kind of pressing into the ground, and then start to bring your body forward. Again, try not to round too much here. You want to think about bringing the chest down to the mat, so lengthen through the top of the head again. You can have flexed or pointed at this point in time. I'm going to flex, can really work into hips and back of the knees, reaching forward. Inhale, exhale, reach. Inhale, exhale, reach. And then just come back up nice and slowly. Okay, from here we're going to go into some bicycles. So step the feet back onto the mat, body nice and tall, hands just by your bum. You're going to bring your chest up and then just lean back slightly, lift the feet off the floor. This time with the bicycle, what you're going to do is just focus on the legs here. We're going to draw circles. So we're not kind of twisting with our upper body as you normally see with this exercise. You are literally just going to start to pedal the feet in circles in one direction first. So think about drawing those circles with the feet. Take your time. The point of this one is to be slow, so you're really using the abs to control the movement. Chest is up. Keep going in this direction. We're going to change in a second. So kind of imagine you're on a recline bike and then change. So now we're going to go backwards. So you push the feet forward, pull the knees towards you as you're doing so. That's going to be working your abs. Keep going, nice and controlled. Whoops, and then relax. Nice. From here, we're just going to take it down onto our backs, but I want you to really focus on taking your time. So again, knees are up, feet on the floor, lift your upper body up, and we're just going to slowly curl down. Think about taking the lower spine onto the mat first. I'm just going to adjust the mic here, but everything else is nice and slow, controlled, so that you're really using the abs almost as brakes in this movement. Take it all the way down onto your back, peel down nice and carefully, and then just relax. From here, just lift the knees up towards the chest and think about just first of all grabbing hold of them with the hands. Do some circles in this position, so nice and gentle, both directions. And then just hug them in again. So as you hug, just think about releasing the lower back a little bit as well. Extend the legs up towards the ceiling, and first of all just have a little bit of a shake out here. So extend the arms as well, and you can just shake out, get rid of any tension. And then from here, just placing the hands again back onto the mat, either side of the hips. I want you to think about really lengthening through the legs, so a bit of a stretch. This time flex the feet, so pull the toes towards you, press the heels up to the ceiling, extend the legs. You should now feel this in your lower back as your lower back is pressing into the mat as well. And you're just going to lower the legs down just a couple of inches, so you're working these core muscles. Hold it here. Don't let the lower back lift off the mat. We want to make sure that you're using the abs to control this, not the back. Lower a little bit further, and then just come back. From here, you're going to grab back of the calves if you can, and again just start to think about pulling the legs towards you a little bit. If you need to, you can just grab back of the hamstrings. It's up to you. Pull the legs towards you, so again just a bit of a stretch, release the lower back, and then just release the legs down. You're going to plant the feet on the mat and just lift up into a bridge. So from here, peel the lower spine off the mat, lift the hips up towards the ceiling, relax head and neck, and you can start to just draw the shoulder blades together underneath you. A little bit higher. Make sure shoulders, hips and knees are in one line. If you're still in the mood for a little bit of a challenge, you can just transfer the weight into the left foot and extend the right foot out in this position. So again, just working into the glutes, quads. Hold it here. Change sides if you have a leg elevated. So now shift weight into the right foot, extend left foot out. Hold it here. Keep the hips elevated. Make sure they've not dropped. Take that foot down, and then just slowly start to peel the spine back towards the mat. So again, start with mid-back, slowly taking the lower back down onto the mat. And from here, I want you to focus on just pressing your lower back now into the mat. So as soon as you do that, you're going to feel your core muscles engage. It's quite important that you have head and neck nice and relaxed as well. Often as we're kind of pressing here, we start to tense everything in the upper body. So relax your arms by your side, press lower back into the mat. And then I want you to think about pressing just the right side and then the left side. Now, ideally, you can't see any movement in the hips because you're doing all of this with your deep core muscles. So you shouldn't be kind of rocking side to side. Just here, press the right side and the left side. We're just loosening up the lower back as well here. Right side and the left side. Now press the whole of the lower back into the mat. Just feel that nice release. And then from here, you're going to bring right knee to the chest and extend the left leg out. Just for a second, I want you to think about pulling with your hands, but pushing it away with your knee. As you do so, you'll feel that lower back again really extend, just bringing a bit of relief. And then you're going to take the right knee across the body to the left. So taking a twist to the floor. I can't actually do it because I've got the microphone here. I'm going to move the mic. Twist. And if you can, you're going to look to the right and extend through that right arm. So again, we're getting a nice twist from the upper body to the hips. Take a few breaths here. Inhale, exhale. And then release. I don't know if you can hear my stomach then. And this time you're going to draw a left knee to the chest. Extend the right leg out and think again about that push-pull motion. So we pull with the hands, but you push with the knee. Feel that in the lower back. Feel that nice extension. A few breaths here. And then take a twist. So take that left knee across the body, extend the left arm out to the side, and then look to the left. Again, bring the attention back to your breath. Try to relax here. You twist the upper body. And then just come back to center. Hug the knees to the chest one more time. We're just going to take a rock and roll. So you're just going to start to rock really gently on your spine. Staying on your back initially, and then start to bring it up to a seated position. And then rock back. Again, take your time on the way down. Do a few of these. It's nice to just release everything. Start to make it a little bit more dynamic. If you want to, final challenge, you can rock into a squat. Completely up to you. So as you come up, put the hands on the floor, push into that deep squat position. And then just spin round into a seated position and give yourself a high five. Well done, guys.